is absolutely Alphas. This is Tone.
And this is Trina, and we're keeping it real
in the field.
In the field of absolution.
The absolute field
of absolution. All right. Well, thanks for listening and tuning in today. How are you doing today? You have a good week?
I had a pretty fun weekend. And a good week. You know, it's good to not be working so much overtime and having time to do this. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So today, brother's topic actually, and I guess I don't know if we're gonna officially go with the title. What's the title you wanted to do?
It's straight up. It's clowns versus quiet people. It is what it is.
Yeah. So basically, it's about the quiet people and the loud people that exist in these social atmospheres and how they're viewed and why people look at them like this. Because you were saying that you had experiences that a lot of, I guess, people who talk more than not talk feel uncomfortable or uneasy at people that are in a social environment that are quiet, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because especially like in that make or break social time, like when you're in high school,
Mm-hmm.
I came up as mostly a quiet person. And really, the article, the link in the notes is like there are excerpts from that that perfectly, like I couldn't have worded it better myself. Like I can read exactly from this article like what I'm trying to say by this. So like I'm gonna break it up in pieces though. So it says basically people out here have a lot of funny ideas about quiet people. There are millions of reasons why someone might not talk much. People who don't recognize this come up with a lot of their own ridiculous assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a common assumption: quiet people want to be talkative, but they can't be because they lack confidence or they're bad with words. And it's up to you to reach out to them and save them. Gotta save them. Like you gotta get a cave and save these quiet people.
And I am that savior, because me, I'm a little introverted. I'm a little extroverted. I share both of the qualities. And the article that I have is a list of it explains the extroverted introvert and gives insight into signs that you are an extroverted introvert. And I can identify as that. And basically what the article is saying is that, there is no black and white. You can lie anywhere between that realm depending on how you feel, because there are a lot of different variables that make somebody talk and make somebody quiet. And why I say I'm the savior is because I've always been enamored with the people who are quiet, because like I mentioned to you yesterday, if you're not talking, then what are you doing? More than likely. What did I say?
You're thinking.
Right, you're thinking. So that automatically gives me a little bit of insight into the personality of the quiet person in the room. And I feel like they're thinking, they're observing. So I like to tap into that mind and maybe they are uncomfortable. Like you said, there are thousands of reasons.
There are millions.
Millions.
According to this article.
Millions.
They just said 10 million.
And they probably have a list somewhere.
Right.
Somebody could be going through something. Somebody could be sad. Somebody could be really just have a lot on their mind. They just lost a loved one. Somebody could be enraged, mad, upset. Somebody could just be there and shy. It's so many different reasons. So I think it's very small-minded for somebody to be like, "Oh, you all quiet," and instantly judge somebody. I think that's ridiculous. So, and I think it's stupid, because typically the people that are quiet in the room are the smarter ones. You can always tell. They said the saying goes, you can tell the loudest person in the room. You can tell the dumbest person in the room by who's the loudest, or something like that.
Yeah, that was Denzel in American Gangster, right? Like the loudest person in the room is the weakest person, something like that.
Something like that, exactly. Yeah. That's it. Guarantee it.
Yeah, he also guarantees that you're the weakest person.
A lot of guarantees. There's a link out there about all the guarantees he says in every movie.
Right. So if Denzel guarantees it, then it's pretty likely that you're weak.
Yeah.
But anyway, since there is no black and white, that's exactly why. And see, the judgment that we cast, because it's more subtle than that. It's more than just someone like just kind of like just kind of like, just coming up and just deliberately picking on you because you're not in the social mix up. You're not chopping up with everybody. It's not that deliberate. Not even most of the time. It's normally a lot more subtle. This speaks to how we make our decisions in dating a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's a lot more subtle, just as a lot of those decisions are. So let me finish reading, like, just some of the parts that I took from this, because it's like, for me it was a long article, but I just highlighted like a few parts here. So, like, these saviors are assuming first of all, they're wrongly assuming that you lack confidence. This is incorrect in the first place, because just being quiet alone is not enough, to just say, oh, well, that's like an inconfident person. No matter what you see in someone's swagger, or their level of social interaction. I mean, that never speaks to like the level of confidence that they truly carry in their mind. So that's already like a ridiculous, ignorant assumption in itself. So what happens is, when these saviors come, they'll put you on the spot. They'll give you the karaoke mic. They'll throw a stripper on you, get you a lap dance. They'll put you on the spot, like, about something they were talking about. You might not even have been listening. They'll just put you on the spot. Well, what do you think about this? And then, like, and then the whole room falls quiet for you. It's like everyone was like conspiring against you, like,
man, I wasn't listening to your whack ass.
Right, like everyone was talking, and like, and mixing up, and like the whole room was like social until the spotlight was put on you, and then it's now like, you can hear the crickets while they're trying to listen for you to say something.
As the bead of sweat rolled down his forehead.
It's a conspiracy. So, and the worst part, and then here's like my highlighted point, of what I, really honestly something I had to deal with coming up. When a quiet person does participate, the horribly awkward results are often applauded with extremely fake and over the top enthusiasm. So it's like,
good job, like, pat on the back for you.
Well, it's right. It'll be like that,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm gonna be here chilling, just minding my own business, and then it's like when I'm forced into the mix, then I'm gonna be clowned for like how I react to it, and that's bullshit. It's like, I've always thought that, like, people who were like that, like, I guess the others, so to speak, or the people who would put you in the spot, or make these judgments or subtleties about me because I was quiet or because I was socially awkward. I always thought they were idiots.
Mm.
But that's, I feel like I'm talking about the majority of people, though, because in any given social setting. But it's like, that's why one of the reasons I like the title, quiet people versus clowns, is I feel like clowns, so to speak, your other extreme opposite, the people who are just over the top talkative, are usually very manipulative people. Really, all the like super talkative people I know are like really manipulative.
And you know what else? I feel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like, but they get all the highlight. It's like, they're the ones that are just the most desirable to people a lot of times, and they're just good personalities people like to be around, and go ahead.
But not only are these people, what did you say? They're highlighted. The people that talk a lot. What was the first thing you said?
Well, just like I was just saying that, like, people, like, who I'm referring to as clowns, people who are just incessantly, the center of attention in all social settings. And they just always had to have that spotlight. It's like I just feel like they're always manipulative, and like I want to say, because quiet people are the thinkers. I want to say, like, the loud people who aren't thinking a whole lot, obviously, are kind of like, getting all the credit.
Oh.
That would be otherwise, I think, due to like quiet people. But,
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh, all right.
To your point.
Go ahead.
Another thing I feel like about people that are constantly talking is that not only do they incessantly need and require attention, but they also want to prove themselves in some unnecessarily pathetic way. Like, they're always talking about, I feel like a lot of people just before they go into a social environment, they'll like Google some random current shit so they can sound smart. Like, oh, did you hear about that? And like, bitch, you're not in politics. Calm down. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not actively in politics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just for you to think that they are of some this elite social status, you know, but for you to even have to go out of your way to do that makes you a clown. Like you said, it makes you a clown. That is the summation of a clown, somebody who is pretending to be something that they're not. You know, that's basically what these loud people are. And people that talk a lot usually lie a lot because they talk so fucking much that they're not going to remember half the shit they said. And then you'll go and you'll bring some things up like, what you said, no I didn't. They don't even remember. You know, but you're listening to them because they wanted to be heard. So you're sitting there, you're listening to them. You know, 2 weeks go by, they done talked a fucking circle around themselves to some shit they don't even remember they said. You know what I mean? So you can't trust them. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust them as far as you can throw them. And that's why it's good to be the quiet person in a social setting, because it gives you the edge on people. And sometimes it's intimidating and threatening for the clown to look at said quiet person and see that they're quiet, because it makes them like, okay, if they're not giving into me and enamored with me, you know, I gotta go up to them and confront them, and you know what I'm saying, do something to make me feel like I'm better than them. You know what I'm saying? And essentially that's what they're doing. If they're putting you on the spot, and it's to make themselves feel some type of glory over your quietness. Like, you know what I mean? And again, that's some clown shit. Like that. Leave me alone. I don't like you. I'm not in your face, bitch, because I don't like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm here and I don't like you, and so I don't like most of you. So I'd rather just sit here and have my drink at the fucking bar alone. Like, you know what I mean? For what I see, you're all whack. And that's usually how most social scenes are. Like, we went out to Bar Louie last night. And it was some clowns in there. Like, the guys that were, like, to my right when I was ordering the drinks. I know you weren't paying attention to the guys in there because you were just looking for it.
You know, I can actually remember that group of guys that you're speaking about, though.
I think they were clowns. You know, because for one, they were too close to me, and the guy kept reaching across me, and I'm like, bitch, why are you this close to me? I don't know, I'm just mad about that. Maybe he wasn't a clown. I felt like they were clowns. But, you know, there's a lot of people in there that were just loud and obnoxious. I mean, alcohol can contribute to that, but I think if you're in a social scene and you're of age, you should be mindful of how much you're drinking to the point you're not all loud and obnoxious and ugly. And then only that, another point to yours, before I forget, is as far as you said, people are attracted. The clowns are the ones who get all the attention, but who's giving these people attention? You know, who are they? Are they any notable figures? You know, because people who are of
clown type dudes are normally the ones bagging like the baddest chicks. So I mean, that's what I've seen.
That, okay.
You know,
but they're not people of substance, is what I'm saying. They're just. I mean, you just don't like the motherfuckers because they getting the chicks and they clowns. I get that, but I mean, are these chicks anything? They're not that smart if they're clinging. You know what I'm saying? They're not anybody that, I mean, you would really want to probably have a deep discussion with. They're probably people you just want to bang. You know what I mean?
I mean, I seen you know. One clown that we know, I mean, these chicks seem pretty, you know, some of them seem pretty intelligible. Like, they be in the military, you know, they got a career going. I mean, it wouldn't just be all hood rats all the time. And, like, sometimes it'd be, like, I guess, like, just regular, you know, quiet, like, nice girls, you know.
You know, I got a homegirl that I really don't like anymore that was in the Navy. And, you know, I mean, I feel like a lot of people that join the military join it for the guidance,
Okay.
and out of a familial consistency, or, you know, a generation thing. You know, my grandfather, my father, my mother, you know, they were, so I got to do it. Our family, we're a Navy family, you know, we're an Army family, you know, but that doesn't mean that you're smart. Like, if she wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer, I'll tell you that. I
mean, well, okay, to be not get into semantics and get caught up in semantics. I'm saying is it's not always gonna be like just just ratchet hood rat chicks that are attracted to clown dudes.
No, you can have money and be dumb. You cannot be a hood rat and be stupid. Not everybody that's stupid live in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You can be in college. You can have a degree and be dumb.
I mean, I couldn't put your old homegirl because I think I know who you're speaking about. I don't think if I could put her into it I guess the category of like dumb chicks.
Oh, okay.
Like what I normally think about when I think about a dumb chick. Like okay. I wouldn't I would put her in a different category.
No, I'm just meaning she was ditzy as hell.
She wasn't the sharpest knife, but like
she wasn't a complete dummy.
Right.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
She could hold a conversation of substance.
Yeah, she could. And we did have some good conversations.
You can't do that like.
we did have some, yeah, and that is why I kept her around for so long. Cause we did have some decent conversations. She was very well versed in astrology. So that was cool.
One day she'll hear this and she'll know.
And she'll know that we was talking about that ass. Alright. So I'm gonna talk about my article. And it's the 19 real life examples of an extroverted introvert so you don't get confused. Alright, so one is we're often quiet, but it doesn't mean we don't want to talk. Just because we like being around people doesn't mean we want to talk. And that's a lot of the times, before I moved here, I used to hang out a lot by myself because I grew up with a lot of females that had children early. So I would often want to go out on the weekends and everybody had their kids, everybody come out, everybody was broke, so I just got used to going out by myself. And because I did want to hear some music, I did want to have me a drink, and I did want to be around people. Because I lived alone, I didn't have any kids and I was single. So I wasn't going out to meet guys. Like I wasn't going out to be fucked with. Like I didn't want to be bothered. And it's so I know if a guy sees a girl in a club by herself, most of the time he's like, oh, ain't gonna holler at her, but I typically just wanted to be left alone and enjoy the scene. You know what I mean? And I remember just buying a lot of guys drinks, just like a big boss, like, I'll buy you a drink just to leave me the fuck alone. And so I can concur with that, and I do feel like I'm in the middle of the spectrum that it talks about. Another one is we like hanging out one-on-one better than in groups. We'll listen to you forever, and I'm a great listener. I think, I do agree with that too. We suck at responding to text because sometimes we don't want to talk to anyone. Sometimes I don't want to talk to anyone, but I don't know. I don't think I suck at texts. You do suck at texts.
I be at work. I'm better at text than most people I know. I feel like people just don't respond to text messages completely more often than me. Like everyone. Like I eventually will respond to your text.
Yeah.
I might be slow or late or some hours later, but I will eventually respond to your text. I always do. But to the point of it not being black and white, I guess kind of what we were getting on earlier. But with the extrovert and introvert thing, it's really not black and white. Most of us are going to be a little bit of both, and then you do have like your extreme quiets and your extreme clowns.
Right. Exactly.
And the title is about I guess the perception of those two extremes that we're looking at. I'm also thinking about like the last couple of girls I brought around my mom's, and like how she just instantly judged these girls for just being too quiet, and the way that she makes these judgments makes me think if I brought a girl around her who had like this brilliant personality and was just like this real personable like she is, because my mom's a talker, and she's very like she has a very like that attractive social personality that I was speaking about.
Yeah, she does. She's a good person.
And I get it. I understand why it works that way. Why people like to hang out with people like that. But at the same time, it's like, where does that kind of person get off? Judging people for being quiet. Like, what gives them the right? Like, what makes them a good judge of character to even be doing that? And I think like, okay, if I just brought like a talkative girl around her, my mom would be like, oh, I love her. In fact, I think one time she was like that. Like I brought like one girl around her who was a little more talkative, and it was like a real, seemed to be like a real sweetheart. Of course, you're a sweetheart when you present yourself to someone's parents. Like what the fuck? But anyway, but she's like, oh, I really liked her. I really liked her. Like, alright, that's what's up. I hear you. Like,
Yeah,
like,
and it's not right to judge somebody for being too quiet because you don't. There's nothing else you know about them, but is that they're quiet, and you're gonna. That's bad to you, like you know what I'm saying? Like there's
Right.
no other qualities that you've noticed except for they're quiet, and that's the one you're gonna say is bad. Like they didn't even talk to you. Like that's just wrong. I think that's very ignorant. But like I said again, like I said earlier, people get uncomfortable. People get uncomfortable because they don't know what you're thinking. They might be, you're talking so much that, and they're not saying anything back. So sometimes in people's minds, they look at it like, oh, well, they're judging everything I'm saying, and
Right.
they don't agree with me, so they don't like me. So they take offense to it. But if you ain't a bullshit person and you confident about what you're saying, you shouldn't feel like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That thought shouldn't cross your mind, but I think it does. I think it's the only way I can explain the phenomena of people being so nervous around quiet people. If you're confident, because I feel like we're very confident people, and when I'm drawn to a quiet person because there's a mystery about them, and I want to solve the mystery. I want to learn who they are. I want to see what's going on. And I'm pretty decent at reading people. And if I do go start talking to a person, I can pretty much tell if they want to talk or if they really want to be left alone. And if I get the vibe like they're just like they turn back around and they don't give me that warm, that inviting vibe, then I'll just keep it pushing. But more times than not, the person probably does want to talk, and they probably would be up for a conversation. They're usually very interesting people, because people that really do have stuff going on, because everybody's like, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so this, I'm so that. People that really do have a lot of stuff going on, they don't always broadcast it. Like, people that really do have a lot of money and really do, travel and they're not always in somebody's face talking about it because they're handling their business and they're making their money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I hate to hear somebody always, I'm sorry to get back with you, I've been so busy. Bitch, please shut up. You're not that busy, and that's the bull crap with the whole text thing. Like I've been so busy. Everybody has their phone all the time. Like you might text me late, but you'll text me within the day or call me back for the day if I call you. But like if somebody that I'm close to, I text and it's like 3 or 4 days, I'm like, you're phony.
Yeah.
I just hate you.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their phone all the time. Don't try to make me think that you're busier than you are. That's whack. Like
Right.
you're whack for that. And I feel like a
Right.
lot of people do that. They want to give the illusion of this busy, fanciful life, and I'm sure my life is more busy than yours.
And more productive at least.
Yeah, more productive.
Getting more shit done.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that irks me.
I can play a little devil's advocate and say it may be easier for me because I don't have a whole lot of applications. I don't even have Snapchat. Like we're like in the Snap era. And I have no idea how to use Snapchat.
I don't fully understand it either.
I'm very basic Facebook and Instagram, and I don't have a bunch of apps and a bunch of notifications. That's the bottom line, So it's like, and then even with Facebook, I turn my notifications off. So like really, the only notifications I get are texts and emails.
Why do you turn them off?
You know what? I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this up here before, but I've been trying to disconnect more.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
Or I guess really connect more, so to speak. Connect with like the world.
Physically, in the world, yeah.
But yeah, I just turn my Facebook notifications off. I mean, I still look at the news feed here and there. And I mean, if I comment on something recently or if I posted something recently, I'll check notifications to see the follow up on that.
Right.
Because, and for one, the way I have my notifications are set now, like I need to take a whole day and readjust them because I get way too many notifications.
That's a good idea.
Just from the way I have it set up, but yeah, one day I'll get it organized. But yeah, I just people got so many notifications on their phone. People got they got Facebook, Instagram, Snap, dating apps. you know,
Right.
Tumblr. They got so many
They're
things going on their
always
phone.
tuned in.
So it's like, you know, when they might literally might not see a text message till like a couple days, and then it's like, I'm just giving
Devil's advocate, right?
I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. I've never personally done it to anyone. It's never taken me more than within that day to respond to someone's text message, but I'm not,
Cause I feel like when it comes to apps, I feel like it's text messages and then maybe Facebook, to Instagram, to Twitter, then all the other apps.
Like priority wise.
Like yeah, like text, phone calls, text. That's the real human interaction there, and then all the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
But with technology, it has made it so that it's all on one platform, really. So, I mean, it's all the same. Like, I mean, there's, now I can text from Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I don't like that though. I don't like combining them. I keep them separate. But you know what I am going to do? I am going to turn off the notifications because I hate that I check Facebook so much. It really is. I read an article a while ago, a year or two ago, about this study that some college did about how it's addictive. Like it's literally addictive.
Mm-hmm.
And I do need to disconnect more.
Yeah,
because if I look down and I see those red numbers, I'm like, I gotta see what this is about. Like,
and I should be grateful for being a guy because I'm never gonna have as many as most women, so I should be grateful that I can just check. I can click my little red button and not have a whole lot going on in there. And
you always have more notifications than me.
It's the way I have it. It's not real though. Like the way I have it set up is hard to explain. But to our point of our topic right now, like even people will make people act like you fell off, like you disconnect. Like the majority of people, like who are on social media, obviously that's where everyone is now. So the majority of people will act like you're the one that disconnected or fell off when you haven't posted in a while. Like that's the response that you get. Like, oh, where you been, or how you been? Because I mean, I could have been out traveling, enjoying the world, living real life, and making multi-million-dollar deals.
Right.
And like it's like, oh, we don't know what you been doing. Where you been? You ain't been doing nothing.
Right.
It wasn't on social media.
Right. So we don't believe you.
Like, oh, where you been? Like, yeah, I've been getting shit done. Yo, the fuck you been at? What you been doing?
Right, nothing, but judging every goddamn body else.
Like judging people on social media.
Right, and there we go. And there it is, full circle. The judgment has been casted. So wait a minute, you mean to tell me you were traveling and doing things real big and you ain't put it on Facebook? Like, motherfuckers be puzzled. Like, yeah. I did. That happened. I don't need to show you every goddamn piece of my life. Like,
imagine like if you won the lottery, like out of nowhere you were rich, and you probably would just fall off Facebook completely.
I would fall off so hard. My fallback game would be so intense. No, I would be a ghost. I would literally be a ghost. My profile picture would be a fucking ghost. Casper would be my profile picture.
Oh shit! Well, at least you'd be more friendly. He was friendly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, speaking of ghosts, I was let you listen last night. The real ghost stories online.
I remember that.
Shout out to that podcast because that podcast, it's a husband and wife first of all, so they're dynamic and listening to them go back and forth in their banter is really really cute, and they have people write in or send in audio, like a voicemail of their personal ghost stories and encounters with like demons and their loved ones and stuff like that. And I've had my own stuff, so it had me and brother start talking about it last night. We found out some stuff about our past that was kind of interesting in the paranormal realm, But I'm sorry, that's just a sidebar. I've been like binging on that because I like all that stuff. My boyfriend, he's really into it. Like him and his best friend ever, they have some really wild ghost stories. Like I think they're even going to do their own podcast. They were talking about doing their own. But yeah, check that out too. Shout out to them. Super scary stuff. They even do like live sometimes. They're on Facebook, so you can check them out on there. I think the shows are on there. They're on Spotify. They're on I'm sure they're on YouTube too. But yeah, pretty scary.
Dope.
Yeah. Oh, so let me read some more of my points off.
Sure.
From my article. I got a meeting coming up. I'm sorry. I gotta respond to these people. That's my homies. My homies in there.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Alright, so despite needing our alone time, we do get lonely. Cry me a river. It's hard to get us out, but we'll have a great time when we go out. We'll happily chat up your parents, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, boss, etc. But once it's over, we require silence. We're not always the most talkative people in a group, but if someone is in need of social life jacket, we can step up and offer that. Oh, look at her. We live in our heads. We live in our heads, even if it seems like we put ourselves out there. And that's true about me. You know, I do live in my head a lot. And that's because I always want to say and do the right thing. I think about everything I say before I say it, and I think about my next move. You know, I'm not a very impulsive person.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was impulsive when I was young, as every young. But you're supposed to learn when you get older, and make better choices. Because if you're impulsive all your life, you're just gonna always make the wrong decision if you're never thinking before you take a step. So because of that, it does require you to live in your head more. And somebody asks you about something, you got okay. Well, this makes sense in this regard. Well, this makes sense. If I go out with somebody, do I want to be seen with this person? Do I know how drunk they're gonna get? Should I be this far from home? So you got to think about all these things before you make a sound decision. Because we can be outgoing and calculated at the same time, sometimes we end up being leaders. But that does not mean we want praise, nor do we want to talk about how great we are. I'm also like that. I think I'm a natural leader. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say I'm a natural leader. I mean, I don't need the spotlight though. I'm more like a master. I'm more like a mastermind than a leader, I think. So I'm like the behind the scenes.
But masterminds are leaders.
The mastermind is like the behind the scenes. So that there's like the face of the operation, then there's someone behind the scenes you might never see.
But like they're leading the project, so they're leaders.
Everybody ain't gotta know that though.
Right, that's what they're saying. Do you think I'm a good leader?
Yeah, you're definitely a good leader. But most times leaders are thought of as people who are like the president.
Obama.
Like like we know the president doesn't really run the country, but he's
the face of the country.
He's the face leader. Like
right.
I don't think I'm like a face leader. I'm more like the mastermind. Like
And even with the ladies, they always put me out there like you can do it. You can do it. You'll be good for this. You'll be good. I'm like.
Yes, that's you're actually a leader. That's what you are. Because they look up to you for that.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel, I mean, it's appreciated, don't get me wrong, but I don't like all the glory, and I don't like a lot of too much praise either. It kind of, I don't get embarrassed often, but it kind of makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know why. It just, because I'm not a braggart, that's not my style, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's something like, and really we're speaking about these are characteristics that are nurtured, I believe from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, like you probably wouldn't be like that face, leader or like the most leading social person and like all the social gatherings and settings, and that you were just always like that, since you were a child, like since you were in kindergarten for real, like you were just always like I coming into like I guess being more socially present with people is something I've done just in recent years. Like I remember as like a 4-year-old, like not really mingling with like the rest of the kids. I remember that from the early days. So that's how I started. So if someone's like if someone can just drink in all the glory of being a leader and taking all the credit, they can just drink it in and just know how to take it. It's something they're used to doing.
Right. That's a very, 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 very good point. That's a very good point, because growing up, I was an only child, and I lived with my grandmother, just like you did.
Yeah.
You had pops too, but
that was, I would, that's we can get into that. I thought that was a big social disadvantage.
Yeah, it was, because I was never like, I mean, I was cool with the cool kids, but I don't think they saw me as a cool kid. I was a little nerdy. I was always a little nerdy. I was always in like a better, smarter class than the neighborhood kids, you know what I mean?
Right.
And when I got to high school, funny story, I know I told you this before, but I was accepted into the magnet program. So It's called the Academy of Finance, and but the school wasn't a zone school. So, when you don't have zone schools in high school, found out with this particular school, I had to ride all the magnet students that were outside of that zone had to ride the short bus. So not only am I going to a brand new high school in ninth grade, but I'm rolling up on the short bus in front of all these people that I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? So it was a big. I did by my junior and senior year, I was really popular. But ninth grade, I mean, I was cool in ninth grade because I'm in the class. Everybody in the magnet program that are on these buses, they know I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? They started to see that I'm not stupid. I'm so sorry, but they knew I didn't have a mental handicap. You know what I'm saying? So but at first it was so nerve wracking. I remember my first day of high school, I did not go because the bus pulled up, and I had to be out there like 6:45 in the morning or something. The bus pulled up, and he opened the door. I'm looking like, what? Like what? He's like, Trina Davenport. He was such a nice old guy. I was like, He's like, oh, I was like, no, no. I went home. I said, Grandma, I can't do this. I didn't go to school the first day. I tried to get re-registered. I remember I caught the regular bus to the regular school because I'd already got it. I was already on the schedule and stuff for that.
Right.
But I couldn't go. I couldn't officially go there without my grandmother signing some other type of paper, and she would not do it. So I had to, because she had said, I went through all this to get you into this school. And I'm like, you ain't gonna do shit. I can't ride that bus. I was terrified. Can you imagine? I was 14 years old. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't ride this bus to high school. High school is a big deal. So, I had to go to school. I had to go. And then, so it was embarrassing going. And then coming home, all the neighborhood kids oh, they teased me. It was just bad, man. Yeah. It was just bad. So, I got to the point, I had to overcome that. That was a big. I felt really proud of myself for the end of my freshman year, junior year, and senior year, sophomore year. I did become popular. I became a leader in the school. I was president of these two different organizations, the business organization they had. I was on the principal's advisory committee. I became cool with the staff. The staff loved me. I used the principal's bathroom. You know what I mean? Right. So it was, but like you said, for up until high school, up until I say the end of 10th grade, I was more of the outcast. You know what I'm saying? And even in the neighborhood, I just felt like everybody was cooler with everybody else than I was. You know what I mean? And I was just kind of the weird kid hanging out. I don't know, because I didn't have the brothers and sisters in the household to interact with. So, and I felt like I might have been a little too clingy, you know what I'm saying, with my friends. Even up through adulthood, I had to really step back and say, did we really have anything in common? Have we ever really had anything in common? I was just stuck with these people for so long that I was so much different than, and I'm trying to save these relationships, but the more I grow, the more I see, these people don't get who I am still, you know what I'm saying? And I had tried to I had put myself on a level with them, and it was very destructive. You know what I'm saying? They all they ever did was want to just party and drink. So I was partying and drinking for a long time. These people, not really getting to reach my full potential. You know what I mean? And I didn't until I isolated myself from everybody and came here. But I do agree with you. You gotta be in that environment, getting it all the time to really know how to deal with it.
Yeah, just even something very basic like how we both were, raised basically by our grandmothers, and just not having both parents around,
right?
Not, and especially siblings. Siblings help out a whole lot with that. Everyone I know that has a good relationship today with their siblings as adults, they it's not even something they take for granted. They know that they were able, they had a lot of advantages, growing up with siblings.
Mm-hmm.
They actually know it. It's something that they don't take for granted.
Right.
And yeah, we're here, but it's we telling a little bit of our story now. We didn't actually grow up together,
Right.
We're close as ever, it's all love, but it's it wasn't like like you said, like I guess your regular traditional American family, like growing up with your siblings,
Right. It wasn't.
It wasn't like that.
And I wanted that so bad. I wanted that so bad for us to be a normal dynamic, because I saw it in so many other households. I saw it everywhere, and I didn't have that. Not only did I not have that, but I lived with my grandmother. So it was that was damaging for social situations, because you know you don't always get the jokes. You don't always get just understand certain dynamics that go on between one person and another, because you're just always in the house by yourself with the grandmother, and she's like a whole 2 generations away from you, so she really can't relate to you as much as maybe our mother would have if she was around. But yeah. So all right, some more reasons on this list. These lists getting long. Okay, 12. We bounce between wanting.
You can do the whole list. How many?
It's 19. I don't know if I do the whole list. I'm on 12 now. I might as well do.
You might as well finish it. Do you, yo?
We bounce between wanting to be noticed for our hard work to panicking over the thought of somebody else paying more than 30 seconds of attention to us. Yeah, I do want to be noticed for my. I do like to be noticed for my hard work. Not like in a public situation, but I do like to hear people say, you know what, that's good, good job. You did, that's creative. Like when you tell me I'm creative and stuff, that really means a lot to me. But like any more than just that would be like, too much. Like,
this is so amazing.
People think we're flirtatious. We're not. Yes, I feel like that. I'll give a person a compliment if I see it's due, because I feel like you never know what type of encouragement people need. I'm very empathetic, but I'm not flirting with everybody. It says, I'm gonna read the explanation here. It says, we understand that interacting with people is a necessary part of life, so we make an effort to do it intentionally and genuinely want people to know that they have our undivided interest and attention. Yeah. And sometimes people take that the wrong way. We get mad at ourselves for wanting to stay in and letting our friends down. I don't really have that problem. We're at our happiest in places like coffee shops and cafes, surrounded by people who are still closed off and keeping to yourself. I do like going to there's a few cafes that I like going to that are not Starbucks. Starbucks is like too douchey. There's a few places in Norfolk, downtown, I like Brown Collie Avenue.
You said Starbucks is too douchey to hang out in?
Yeah, like I feel like everybody there is a douche bucket. It just looked like ooh, living in Starbucks. Ooh. Like, y'all probably ain't even, fucking laptops ain't even on. It's like, no, they be doing hard work. We have a constant inner struggle of controlling our introverted side. Not really. We don't really like small talk. I don't know. Do you like small talk? I can't say I don't like it.
I mean, I'm probably.
I'll do it ironically.
I'm probably so oblivious in social settings that I wouldn't like recognize someone like trying to small talk me.
Oh, okay.
I probably wouldn't pay attention to it.
Small talk is like, weather's crazy, huh? Something like that. That would be a small talk example.
You know what? Sometimes if it's obvious, I'm not gonna like it. I'm just saying, I don't know if I always pick it up, but if it's obvious, I'm gonna be like,
these clouds look threatening, huh? It's always usually about weather.
If some strange dude is walking up to me making small talk, I'm gonna have my
your gun out?
I'll probably put my gun out.
I thought you were to say I'll probably have my gun out.
I'll probably put my gun out. That's probably what happened. Nah, I was about to say my defense mechanisms go up. I'll probably be ready to defend myself, but. No, I like your idea better. I probably would just pull out a random pistol like in the cartoons.
I don't shoot small talk, me motherfucker.
Like, right, but you gotta pull it out of nowhere. Like, you know how like it be something like bigger than what you can possibly hold in your pants.
Yes.
Like a rocket launcher or something to pull out like that. There you go.
All right, we don't actually have a staple group of friends. Now this is true. I don't have. I say we often pick and choose one or two individuals from different social groups that make up our closest friends. But we make this handful of best friends our life, and we do anything for them. Yeah, I agree with that. I get one person from each little group. All right, if we like you, we really like you. We're extremely picky about who we spend our time and energy on. If we've hung out multiple times, take it as a compliment. Seriously, if it's such a struggle to talk to people, if we get so exhausted going out, it's a big deal. We're willing to spend our time and energy with you. Right. It isn't to say that we're full of ourselves. We just wouldn't want to spend that energy with people whose company we don't enjoy. Right. I don't want to be around people I'm not going to like. Oh, battery. Okay, I can fuck this up straight away. Because it says 10%. That means that it's going to die in 20 seconds.
The laptop was sitting here long enough for it. It's cool though.
It wasn't plugged up the whole time.
It's fucked up. Should have been plugged up.
It's this laptop gets on my nerves. But you know, I just got an email about a recall on the battery specifically. You should have got one too.
I did.
Because we got the same laptop.
But you got to check and see if your model's on there. Oh yeah. I guess that's something. If y'all don't, if your laptop ain't registered, if you ain't get the email, if you got an HP laptop, y'all, the recall's on that battery. So
yes.
Yeah, check it out.
Check it out. All right. So now we're gonna move to our segments. What is it? I forget it every time. Okay, the shock stream.
That's the unofficial title, I think.
Unofficial.
I don't know if we ever
We're still not sure. Oh yeah, and if you have any ideas or questions for us, you can email us at absolutelyalphas@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
And we would love to hear your feedback. Both of the links that we're reading from will be in the notes, so you can check those out. And absolutely, give us any feedback. We want to hear it. If there's something you want us to talk about, or it's something that you're interested in knowing about us, as long as it's not too personal, we'd love to answer your questions and hear what you have to say. So.
And please leave your commentary in the comments, all of your different opinions, and if you agree or don't agree.
Yes.
Definitely make sure you comment and talk about it.
Right. And we might even make a segment, because I was thinking about this as soon as you said that, where we do just respond to people. I guess after we get a good following.
Oh yeah. We gotta do that.
And have that segment where we're just talking to you guys.
I'll do it out with any of y'all. I would love to.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. So shock stream. So something that shocked me this week that I cannot wait to tell you guys. I went to Old Town Portsmouth. I live in Portsmouth. And yeah, I know people in Virginia, it's a hood. But I live in the good part of Portsmouth, I think. So there's a part in Portsmouth that is Old Town. If you're from Baltimore, it's like the Fells Point, but it's a smaller version. And it's really cute, really quaint, right on the water. So there's this museum that I frequent there, the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center. So I went there after work one afternoon, I think it was Thursday, and I went to the museum. I checked out their new exhibit, walked around a little bit. I went to this what is it called, fresh homegrown, I don't know, some type of little cute little quaint restaurant I went to, and had me a pizza. And I found out at that little spot that there was going to be a First Fridays live music in the courtyard of the museum this past Friday. So I told my boyfriend, I was like, let's go. I love live music. We just went and watched jazz. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we go, and it rained down there, so they moved it inside. So we go into the arts, and it's it's like the museum gift shop. So in the back of the gift shop, it was this big open area where there were lots of people, and there was the live music there, and it was really cute and artsy. They had refreshments, wine and beer and stuff. So the shocker is, when I walked in, I noticed a lot of really hoity-toity people. You could tell by the look of them, like you could just tell they all had boats or something, and like they just all looked like money, and a lot of them had on like these political stickers, like you would see somebody wearing if you're going to vote, like the people that help with the campaigns and stuff. So I'm like, is this some political shit here? Because I'm not super political. I mean, I skim across it, but I'm not super into politics. I mean, maybe one day, but just not today. But when we went to the back, for one, it was really, I'm going to tell you right away, it was a real cultish vibe that I got. And the air was really thick and humid, and I could look in a lot of people's faces, because when you first walk in, and I had my dashiki on also. Let me throw that out there. I had my dashiki on. I mean, I was fly with it, and I had my aviators, my gold frame aviators, and my my fro was popping, my curls was popping. So a lot of people looked right at me when I walked in. And just looking into people's face, a lot of people look wasted, like wasted. So I'm like, is this? I'm trying to look around to see if I can spot who looks like a politician. So before I could even get comfortable doing that, this guy comes to like, hello, and he's like, hi, my name is such and such, and what's your name? I'm like, Trina Davenport, and shake his hand. He's like in my personal space. Like as he's talking, like he spit on me once. His lips were real juicy. I'm like, this guy has been drinking, and he was running for mayor. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was just really weird. It was really bizarre. And I felt like he talked to me for way too long. He gave me a brochure, explained himself. You could tell it was very scripted. He there was a slight genuity to him, but he didn't seem very genuine. And like he just, I want your vote. Maybe I want your money. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that point. I'm gonna feel you out first, and before I ask you for a donation. But like right after we talked to him, we left. We went down because it was just too weird. I was like, "Do you want to leave?" He was like, "Yes." I'm like, "Let's go right now." Like so that's my. I'm like, so what's shocking about that is like, if this was a political soiree, what are they like on broader scales, and why wasn't it publicized on the Art Center's website that it was going to be this type of party? You know what I'm saying? That was what was weird to me. I guess you would have to have been in, some type of political circle to know that was going on. You know what I mean? And he handed us these, those rubber bracelets that you.
Yeah,
he went.
But you said it was like it was fitted to his wrist and he was sweating.
It was it was sweaty and like everybody, it was hot in there. And he's like, here, do you have one of these bracelets? But he took it off his own wrist. I'm like, I'm not gonna vote for you. Like, you're an alcoholic who gives people used bracelets. And I don't feel comfortable voting for you. But he's like, if you have any questions, you can just email me. And I told him.
You should definitely ask him about the bracelet then. If he gave you his email address, you should ask him about his bracelet.
I might ask him. And then he asked me, he's like, what do you do? And I hate when people ask that. I think that's such a invasive question. Like that's something. I don't think you should just. I think people that do that because they want to brag about what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Because what if you're unemployed? Like you have no idea what this person is into. To be asking them what do they do? I don't know. It was just weird. So I'm gonna start lying like I'm a lawyer.
That's another. You just gave me another topic idea, but we'll circle back to that.
You better write it down. What do you think about it?
I'll remember this one.
I'm sure. Better. All right. What's your shock?
Yeah, did y'all hear the paper rustling? She was trying to make me write it down. I'm sure you heard the paper. But yeah. So my my shock moment actually was very recent. Well, I forgot when you said yours happened. Mine was just like yesterday. Like
Mine happened Friday.
Okay, yeah, so we like 1-2 days apart. But I mean, it was it just happened. I mean, I couldn't. The audacity of people. Like, so I'm playing music on my phone, and I understand that like if you're playing like music out loud, it could be offensive to people like in public settings. Like if I'm walking down the street, there's not a whole lot you can say really. But I guess if you're like you're in a restaurant or somewhere, it's something that people can see. A manager might walk up to you or something. But I'm in like a hood pizza spot for real. I'm in the pizza spot, so I got my music playing, and it's really not even loud enough for me to hear it, and I'm in front of the phone. So this guy has the audacity to actually say something to me about to turn my music off or down, and telling me that his daughter was sitting there and he didn't want her to hear it, and I'm like, if she's sitting on the other side of the table behind me, she's 2 seats away from me, I know this music isn't loud enough for her to hear. I said that to his face. I said, I don't think she could hear it. And I mean, he got visibly upset at me. Like the mug that he gave me was like he wanted to fight. And I just wanted him to stand up. I was ready to knock all his teeth out. I couldn't wait.
Lord
but
Jesus.
I mean, but it was like the madder he was getting, the madder I was getting. He didn't really say anything else. He just mugged the shit out of me. Just And I'm like, make a move. So I was already standing up. I just walked to the bathroom. I come back out, my phone is off. I got my nephew with me too. So I'm like, I asked him, did someone touch my phone? He was like, well, I turned the screen off because it was buzzing. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And so then the manager walks up to me and was like, okay, well, would it be okay if you just didn't, play your music, while you were here? because of the customers. And I was like, all right, this is your establishment. I mean, that's what's up, yeah. At least this is your establishment. You're the manager, so you're not out of line for coming at me like that. But that guy was. So and then I asked him, did someone touch my phone? And he was like, no, no one touched your phone. And by that time, I had like 30 more seconds. They were already done with my food. Like I was out of there like within that minute anyway. So, but yeah, I couldn't believe. I don't know. I mean, but no, the shock value was someone could actually like come out their mouth and like really confront me about some shit like that.
I would have too. Without a child. I'd have been like, you're ignorant as shit. Turn your music off.
No, because the music genuinely wasn't loud enough for them to hear it. It wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like
if he said something, he could hear it then.
I mean, but what did we speak about yesterday? We were like, I think there's just a stigma that hip hop carries with some people, I guess, in certain settings.
He was playing Beethoven, he wasn't in mind.
I mean, right, if I could have been playing gospel rap, and he probably would have reacted the same way.
Yeah.
So and I'm gonna test that theory. I'm just gonna start playing gospel rap everywhere and seeing how people react to it. Because I believe at the core that's what he was trying that's what he was doing. He was like trying to punk me to turn my music off because he felt some type of way about it. And I wasn't going for it. Like I was like, your daughter can't hear my music. I can barely hear. I know she can't hear it.
Middle finger.
Like I mean, basically, like I just and then we just had to stare off, and I was waiting for him to get to stand up so I could knock his teeth out. That's all that was.
Alright, so great job. Passion points is next. My passion right now, I actually have a meeting to go to, so we gotta wrap it up, B.
I can actually bypass my passion point then.
Okay.
If that's the case. Well, I mean, but you do yours, so.
So you saying you do you, boo boo?
No, I mean you are like I'm looking at the time. You're like out of time.
All right, so real estate is my passion point for today. It's something that I've been involved with since 2000, and I'd say maybe 10. And I'm finally on the cusp of something great. I have these two partners that I'm developing this system with. I'm really happy to be meeting with these two guys. They're pretty big in the area as far as investment strategies and even forex trading. They know how to do forex too. So I'm gonna get my portfolio popping. I gotta get some money to just not work first, so I can have time. That's gonna take some time, but that's my passion. I'm really into it. We got some new software we're trying out. I think it's gonna really streamline everything and help us out a lot. I really feel like this is gonna be what helps me put everybody on in the family. Hopefully, if you don't get it first, I'm gonna get it. Then we gonna all get it. Whoever get it first, we all get it.
We all getting it.
So that's what I'm passionate about now. Getting this paper. Alright, so that's it. Again, thanks for listening. He ain't got no passion point. You sure you don't want to say nothing?
I mean, all of y'all already know by now. I'm passionate about fitness. And even I have moments where I fall off, and I may be depressed with other things going on in life, or may not be quite where I want to be in other areas, and then that kind of like trickles into like my fitness falling off of fitness, and then it's like a spiraling effect. Like now I'm out of shape. I got to get back in shape.
I gotta get back in shape too.
But I mean, even I, as like a 2-time certified trainer and a fighter, like I have moments where I'm not in shape and and can fall off. So with that being said, the feeling that you get when you are working out on a regular basis, it takes us 21 days to build a habit. So the feeling that you do have after your workout is like it is like drugs. There are endorphins. And just that good feeling after a workout, especially after a run or like a heavy, intense lifting session. It's like
running is addictive.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like I can hate the running while I'm doing it. I can hate it when I'm doing it. I can hate the weights, when I'm in the gym. But like the feeling afterwards is like it's something that I can't
describe and go without.
I can't replace that, and that is like, it's literally drugs. Endorphins are like drugs for your body, like that's what it is. So that's, I just say that like just keep pushing y'all, build a habit in 21 days. I just love.
I just love.
Yeah, this build a habit in 21 days, and
Right.
start small. Start with walking, start with something easy, get into the habit. And enjoy the air and the atmosphere of it. When you're going out for a walk or something, just enjoy it for what it is, and just build that habit and muscle memory, and you'll eventually get to like whatever kind of fitness goals you have.
And the church said amen. And that's a wrap. Like us, share us, talk about us, whatever you want to do. Again, absolutelyalphas.com. Signing off, Tone and Trina. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.